We are so back.
We are so freaking back. Okay, so we've had a baby for 5 weeks, and what's that been like?
Duke Wardington III. Oh, that's going to spark a debate.
I think it's fine to dedicate your baby, but actual baptism, you have to make the conscious choice yourself.
Embarrass me at restaurants all the time.
Huh? What do you mean?
Can I take this back? Can I try this?
I've had some pastors say some things to me. I've had 2 in particular roast my podcast name, I'm not gonna lie. What is up, happy and healthy?
We are so back.
We are so freaking back.
This feels right. I've missed this.
We have abandoned our podcast room for 6 weeks. I'm not even kidding you guys. There were spider webs in here that were growing because we haven't been in here in 6 weeks.
I haven't had an outlet just to shoot the sheesh. I have so many crazy, wild thoughts throughout the week, and it was so hard for me not to be able to come on here and just say the craziest things.
Honestly, same. I've wanted a place to just like talk.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like sometimes like Instagram stories is the best way to do that. I've missed the podcast.
But the break was good because I feel like now we got the energy back.
Yeah.
There at the end, I feel like our energy was kind of crashing. We weren't giving the best. But now, like, I'm a dad now, and nothing can get to me now. You know, nothing can get to me. You and I, when we pod, we're so back.
Oh, so freaking back.
It's going to be crazy. This is going to be an insane season. Jeanine and I'm going to law school in a month, but we're still, once, twice a month, we're going to get on here and just hang out.
Right.
Because I'm not going to be seeing you as much.
I know.
We're going to need these, therapy sessions talking about life and what's going on. And so it's going to be good.
Yeah, so you guys, if you are new here, my name is Jeanine. This is my husband, Kaleb. This is the podcast Happy and Healthy, a Christian podcast where we post every single Tuesday. And I do solo episodes. I occasionally bring on guests. I try to once a month, but I do feel like going forward, it's going to be a lot more of just you and I and me, but I'm definitely going to still try to get some guests. But we took 6 weeks off. Obviously, we still posted. I did a relationship series, which I hope you guys enjoyed.
Which those were some old podcasts.
Yeah.
Literally every time I would see, like, if you guys don't know, when we post clips, like, that's not me posting those clips. Like, we have a podcast, girl who comes in and she clips the pod.
Yeah.
And those old podcasts of me, I cringe.
It's a little hard for me to watch myself too.
Cringe so hard because, like, when I'm giving advice, especially when we were dating, I'm like, that dude had no idea what he was saying. Like, why was he giving advice? But
I mean, I still think it was good advice. Like, I re-listened to all the clips and I was like, no, I still think we back that up.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have a son and we haven't officially announced his name on here. Obviously, everyone knows his name now, but his name is Duke Ward.
Duke Wardington III.
I think it's such a cool name. We love his name. I'm not going to lie. Some of you guys actually were sneaky cheeky and you found out his name. How do you guys do that?
Well, JJ Tomlin from the Heart of Dating. If you were at the Heart of Dating conference, he actually slipped at the conference. And so if you were there, you figured out his name.
There's actually 3 ways that people find out the name. Number 1, JJ. Shout out to JJ.
Yeah, shout out.
Literally from the stage. Kaleb and I were going up on the stage and he was announcing us because we were speaking at their conference. And he was like, Jeanine and Kaleb, welcome up on stage. And I said something like, don't forget about our son, because I was very pregnant at that time. He goes, oh yeah, and Duke. And Kaleb and I
gave him the death glare.
Oh my gosh, we looked at each other and we were like, and he tried to cover it up. He's like, no, and their son.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shoot. And there was some very loyal podcast listeners there. So if you caught it, you caught it. The second way I found out is that apparently one of my friends in my baby shower vlog said, oh, baby Duke. And someone heard it in the background. Never caught that. Number 3.
So your friends can't keep secrets. I've learned that about you.
I guess no one knew I was filming, which I don't blame them.
If you have a secret, don't tell your friends.
That's true.
Or don't tell you, actually. Too.
No. Actually, the third way is you spoiled it.
That was your fault.
No, it was all your fault.
No, it was First of all, this is so good. I missed arguing with you on the pod. No, you were in charge of editing that podcast, and so it's your job to look and because we
didn't even say what happened yet.
I edit the podcast, right? I look over the podcast before we post it every week to make sure we don't say anything crazy, and so it was your job for the vlog And so,
Well, no, Caleb made a boo-boo on the vlog. It was the nursery reveal vlog, and he was showing this pillow, and in Duke's crib, it has a pillow with his name on it, and he goes, guys, this has his name on it, and like he didn't fully cover it, but then as he was putting it back in the crib, you accidentally turned it like 1 degree too much, and it showed the side, and it said his name on it. Someone caught that. They were like, I see his name, and I was like, oh my God. It was already posted. I started freaking out, immediately edited it out, and I was like, oh,
you also you turned off you can turn off special words on the comments, and you turned off Duke, and so no one could comment Duke.
Yeah, but some of y'all guessed it, which is crazy. One of my like loyal followers, Michaela, she guessed it.
Yeah,
so that's impressive.
That's sketchy. Let us know what you guys think of the name. I think Duke's pretty cool.
We love
you want
it.
to share them the origin story of Duke?
Yeah.
How we started the name with Duke is we were hyper obsessed with pickleball.
This is not how we picked his name.
It is. It's 100%.
No, we picked his name based off of going to South Carolina.
No, that's not why.
And picking a law school.
No, because this happened before then.
No.
100%. Yep. I know. Okay, can I tell the story?
Go ahead.
All right. I'll just prove you wrong. So you and I were dating, and I was at my job, and guys, this is the time, again, I was hyper obsessed with pickleball. And I was going online, I was looking up really good like pickleball names. I wanted to start a pickleball company. I was like, I want to make pickleball.
Wait, are you going to give away the name? Because what if we do this in the future?
Well, yeah, it's okay.
Someone's going to steal the name.
I don't care. If someone steals this, then like good for them.
But would we ever want to use it for something?
I don't think so. No.
I think it's so fire. I still think we should.
If you steal this, you're just not a part of the OG squad. It's okay. I don't really care. Anyways, I'm going to law school. I don't have time to do this anymore. So when I was at work and I was looking up like sophisticated names, and because I wanted to start a pickleball thing, but I wanted to make it tennis related. And I was looking up themes for like the Wimbledon or like tennis, different things. And one thing that popped up was Duke and Duchess. And I was like, that would be kind of a cool pickleball name, like Duke and Duchess pickleball. And you can make it kind of bougie and different things. And so I came to Jeanine and I was like, dude, I just come up with a cool name called Duke and Duchess. And I was like, what if we named our son and daughter Duke and Duchess? This is when we were dating. And I was like, Duke is a sick, I don't know about Duchess, but I was like, Duke is a sick name. And from there, that's the origin of Duke Ward.
I recall it very differently.
Okay.
In my mindset, when we were engaged and we went to South Carolina for our engagement photo shoot, we went to go to Charleston School of Law. And we were like, what if you went to school on the East Coast for law school? And we were considering all the schools on the East Coast. And Duke University has a law school. And I remember we were like, that name is so sick.
Yeah.
And in my mind, that's when we were like, that should be our son's name. We love that name.
First of all, Duke's not in South Carolina.
No, it's in North Carolina.
Yeah.
But I was talking about the East Coast.
Yeah. That's not it. I love that that was your vision.
No, I think that's how
and
it was.
That was your narrative. But mine happened first. So
I just don't think that's when we picked
but it
the
did.
name.
We went to South Carolina later. This at work. I did this this was in March.
Our poor son.
Yeah.
He's going to be like, you guys don't even know how you got my name.
You guys named me after pickleball.
And after a college.
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't matter. We think the name's cool. We love it.
Yeah.
And we've had Duke for almost 5 weeks.
Yeah.
He's almost a month old.
Dude's a freaking gangster.
He's a chiller.
Yeah. Just sleeping great, eating great, pooping great.
Yeah.
You know, he likes, he loves his mom.
That's
he
true.
loves his dad too. But every time he's with his mom, he just wants to eat. When he's with me, he's sleeping. I don't know what it is, but when he's with you, he's trying to snack.
Your girl is the milking cow over here, so he likes his cow.
Someone killed a fattened calf.
What? This isn't biblical times anymore.
Testament, I think.
So anyway, we are
world champions,
parents,
and world champions. Don't forget, we are world champions.
Wrong button. Yeah.
If you don't know what world champions mean, we're NBA champions, the Oklahoma City Thunder. Since we moved here, our team wins the championship. We have our son going to law school. You're writing.
Baby.
Life is so good and God's good, but this was one of the single-handedly, besides getting married, besides having my son, besides giving my life to Jesus, this was a top 10 moment in my life.
He was so excited.
And
I am wearing the Thunder colors in honor of you.
Oklahoma, man, we're putting the city on the map, the state on the map, and this basketball team means so much to this state. I mean, no one knew about Oklahoma until really even the Thunder put it on the map. I think it was 16 million people watched this game.
That's fire.
And the game 7, and it's just
It was a good game too.
It's been fun to live here during this whole time, and it was so priceless watching, these games with Duke and everything, and so it's been really cool.
So if you guys don't know, we did post our entire birth story on YouTube. And if you guys, because I probably won't do a full story here, obviously, but go check that out. But that was a pretty crazy experience.
Yeah.
Like, do you think about it at all? Like, does it still kind of like, whoa, that was wild? Or
yeah, it felt like a whirlwind, and it went by so fast, but it also felt so long. I don't know. It's like, it's kind of hard to talk about in a way because it was so emotional and everything that I almost kind of even forget what happened because it was so much and it was so heavy.
Right.
But yeah, it was hard. It was hard for me. It was hard to talk about in a lot of ways. It feels so personal. And it is weird that people know like
all the details,
your story of like your child and stuff. But it's spoken to a lot of people, and I think a lot of people have a similar story of, things not going the way you plan. And I just hope that it can encourage other ladies that, if you didn't plan on having a C-section, you didn't plan on your son being in the NICU or different things. I mean, some of our closest friends, Sarah Rose and Connor Combs, their son had all sorts of, issues and different things that they didn't expect. And ours was very minor compared to like what they went through. And so,
or just other people in general.
Yeah. And it just put things into perspective because there's someone always sicker than your son that's in the NICU. And it doesn't make our experience less than or like not as severe or whatever, but it just put things into perspective. When he did get healthy, there's a lot of people that don't have that same story.
Right.
And, we have friends who've gone through miscarriages and there's just a lot that goes into it. And it's, I think, really hard as Christians because God talks so much about God, kids being such a blessing. And then it did really, I struggled with this, like, watching our son in the NICU, like, I'm like, God, if like children are such a blessing, then like, why are we having these issues? And so I felt like it really allowed me to really sit back and dig deep and ask the Lord, like, what can you teach me from this? And do I only praise you when things are good? And then am I only going to praise you just because you healed them in different things? So I'm still like reflecting on it, and it's made me ask a lot of questions that I think are good questions. So yeah, it's been a lot of different emotions.
I would agree. I mean, I can definitely talk more about this in a solo episode, but I don't really throw the word traumatizing around lightly, like pretty much ever. I'm not someone that's like, oh, it was so traumatic, and it maybe really wasn't. There was definitely elements of it that were very traumatic. And I mean, I've even had people validate me in that, being like, Jeanine, that was a traumatic experience. And I didn't really want to say that myself because I'm like, no, like my birth of my child isn't traumatic. And I think when people kind of gave me the grace and the freedom to say that, I was able to kind of verbalize that and say, you know what, it actually kind of was. Not the whole thing, elements of it. I think when we were transitioning from, trying to do it naturally to then C-section, that was all a very emotional part. And then the C-section thing was very crazy. And so I don't know, I'm glad that my story got to encourage some people because I didn't realize how many women have experienced that. After posting my story in the comments, it was insane to see how many women have experienced that as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm glad we got to share a story. Definitely go check that out on our YouTube if you want to hear the full story. But we're just glad, like,
you're a freaking mother.
We have our son now, and he looks so different already than when he was like fresh out of.
Who do you think he looks more like? Who do you guys think he looks more like?
I don't know. Every day I get DMs, it's like, no, he looks like Kaleb. And then I'm like, oh my, and then people are like, wow, oh my gosh, he's your mini me.
You know who he looks like?
Us?
A baby.
He's a little baby.
Like I don't know. I don't see anything. I just see a baby.
He's a so little cute.
And he's so small. What's it like being like, do you feel like a mother?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a mommy. I'm a mamacita. No, I really do.
Mommy? What's the TikTok?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's like, mommy. She's like, yeah, I'm a mamacita. And also the one for for you is Justin Bieber. I'm a dad. I'm a husband at the beach.
Yeah. Justin is wild. And
Bro, we made that one podcast about them.
I know. That was funny. I can't believe we were running out of things to talk about lightheartedly. Like doing a podcast every week is so challenging when especially you're trying to be different. You're trying to talk about different things because there's so many Christian podcasts and
right.
they're all different in their own ways, and we try to stand out in different things. And so, we were like, let's do a podcast on Justin Bieber and Hailey Bieber, which was one of the worst decisions we've ever made. Just the amount.
We got flamed.
And maybe they're right. It was probably a stupid thing to talk about.
Right.
I mean, I don't think we said anything crazy, but oh, he's crying again. Let's go feed him and then we can get back to this. All right, guys, we got to go be parents. We'll be back.
We'll go be mom and dad, BRB.
But yeah, Justin Bieber. That's what I think the podcast is going to be so much better. I just feel like we're back to just being us. And I think there for a sec, we were just trying to find any topic that was relevant to talk about.
It was relevant at that time.
Yeah, which I enjoy those pods in a way, but I'd rather stay away from
celebrity
gossip and stuff.
It's not my lane, nor do I really.
We're parents now. You know what I mean?
They're priorities.
We're freaking parents. Like we can't be talking about things like that. We got to talk about real issues, real things. But anyway, I'm excited for law school, but I am so scared just to fail, I think, and also be a dad. I'm a dad now. You're my mamacita, and I want to be a good husband. But I lived with my cousin when he went to law school, and it's wild. It's a wild time.
This episode of Happy and Healthy is brought to you by Crew. All around the world, people are opening their hearts to Jesus, especially in places where faith had once been hidden from them. From the Middle East to Europe to Africa, there's a hunger for truth like never before. And guess what? It's the Bible that is making a difference. But here's the heartbreaking part. So many of them have never seen a Bible, let alone owned one. And that is why I love what Crew is doing. Their mission is simple but powerful, getting the word of God into the hands of people who have never had access to it. And right now, the demand is outpacing the supply. Teens in Europe are asking for Bibles faster than Crew can provide. New believers in closed nations are multiplying daily. This is a huge need, but this is also an opportunity. For just $24 a month, you can put 3 Bibles in the hands of people that are desperate for hope. And as a thank you, Crew will send meals to 12 hungry people and give you a free copy of my book, Becoming Happy and Healthy. Let's be a part of something eternal. Text HAPPY to 71326 to give now. That's HAPPY to 71326. Or go to give.crew.org/happy. Message and data rates may apply. U.S. addresses only. Let's be real. How you sleep affects everything. Your mood, your workouts, even your ability to focus during the day. And the secret to performing your best, it starts with the right pillow. And that is why I switched to Lagoon. Lagoon helps you unlock deeper restorative sleep with just a quick 2-minute quiz that matches you with your perfect pillow. It's adjustable, super supportive, and since using it, I've been falling asleep much faster and waking up without the annoying neck pain. And trust me, when you have a newborn, this is very key. Research from the National Sleep Foundation showed that individuals who switched to a pillow designed to alleviate neck pain experience a 57% reduction in discomfort during sleep and an average increase in sleep duration of 45 minutes per night. So this pillow is a total game changer. And you know what else I love? Lagoon isn't just some giant corporation. It's a small business started by Ryan, a former Olympic trials swimmer turned ultra runner who tested over 60 pillows to build this lineup. He gets what performance-minded people actually need. Sleep is performance, and studies show that using the right pillow can improve sleep by over 60%. Waking up for my morning routine has never felt better. I'm refreshed and pain-free, and thanks to my Lagoon pillow. Go to lagoonsleep.com/healthy to take their awesome 2-minute sleep quiz to find your match. Use code HEALTHY for 15% off your first purchase. Yeah, so you start pretty soon.
We start pretty soon.
Yeah, but I'm not the one going to school.
I know, but we're a team, you know?
We are a team. And I will say, like, we've mentioned this before, life is about to get real crazy. First of all, a baby is the biggest transition I've ever done in my life. Like, a move is no big deal. You know, anything in my life, I'm like, oh, whatever, that was fine. this is the biggest transition I've ever done in my entire life.
Yeah.
And then you are going to law school, and that's something we're like, whoa, okay, we've got a lot of changes all happening at once.
We spent every second together for 3 years, so it's gonna be weird.
No, we didn't.
Since we've been 3 is crazy.
Yeah, I was like, what?
Since we've been married, I guess
Since we've only
been married a year and a half.
Yeah, and you weren't working with me before we got married.
Yeah, 3 years is. I don't know where I'm thinking we are.
Yeah, I'm like, do you need some coffee?
Like we've barely been together for 3 years.
3 years this July.
We haven't even been together for 3 years.
Yeah, this July.
This July.
Yeah, life can change pretty fast. It's pretty crazy. We like met each other, got engaged, obviously married, moved, bought a house, had a baby, and all in less than 3 years.
Yeah, but we're gonna figure it out. It's gonna be a grind. It's gonna be a 3-year grind.
Yeah.
I got some figuring things out to do. I got to learn. I feel like I got to learn how to read again. You know, I got to learn how to write again. Orientation starts soon. So it's gonna be very interesting. But I feel like I found my calling. I feel like here lately, especially moving to Oklahoma, like if you follow me on Instagram, I feel like I found like a little lane and sports and grilling and, you know, being a dad and golf and different things. And so I want to figure out a way to go to law school and apply that to my passions and what I want to do. And it'd be cool to get into the NIL space. And so I feel like I have a lot of purpose driving me and a good vision on what I want to do. But you talk about, you and I are adventure junkies. Like we're going to, like, you and I together, if we weren't Christian, could be bad.
I'm trying to put your
we would just be nonstop working, travel, like never focused on anything.
Just constantly like chasing fun.
Stimulation.
Right.
And so it's going to be really weird waking up every single day, the same thing for 3 years straight.
Yeah.
And like we've already said no to so many things.
Yep.
Like we've had to say no to several trips.
Yep.
In August. And that's hard.
It's hard. And also I think it'll be good for us in some sense to kind of, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for?
Grounded.
I guess grounded, but like
when you're 7 years old and your mom says, "Sit down, son." Like, about time someone grounded us.
Yeah.
You know?
The word I was looking for was detox us a little bit. Again. Because there for so long, we just did whatever we wanted when we wanted. And that's also the beauty. Like before you have kids, like go do that. Like that's kind of the beauty.
We also worked too. Like it's
no,
not
I'm saying like, of course we worked, but I'm saying like we were able to kind of travel when we wanted and accept brand deal trips and go whatever. But with the baby and you being in school, things are about to look a lot different. Like I'm going to be here majority of the time, writing, working, doing this podcast, raising my baby, and you'll be in school a lot. And so it's definitely going to completely change our life, which is good. I think that'll be an adjustment because again, like I said, we have to kind of detox our brains a little bit from the last almost 3 years. But
yeah, you got TikTok brain a little bit.
I think we both do.
I don't.
Yeah, you do. I do not you so do.
I don't have TikTok brain. I got YouTube brain.
Yeah, but you still watch TikTok.
Not really. I have a time limit, hour a day.
Yeah, you just added that last week. Relax. He's like,
I'm hour a day.
Yeah, guy. I've been doing this for 6 years.
Been doing the carnivore diet today too. So I'm doing the carnivore.
What? Since when?
Today.
No way.
I mean, I had potatoes. I guess that isn't.
Wait, speaking of potatoes, isn't that still in the oven?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's fine.
Anyway.
Real quick side note. Because we're a team. Never mind. That was going to be stupid what I was going to say.
Anyway,
I'm still getting. Chris, don't cut this out. This is. I want the audience to really feel our rust right now because like we haven't sat down and done a podcast together.
It feels a little choppy and jumpy.
We're rusty, but it's good. I think we need to just learn how to sit in this silence and sit in this vulnerability because this is vulnerable right now.
Well, I think also like. We chat all the time, but it's weird when you're sitting in front of a camera and you're like, oh, thousands of people are going to watch this.
Or listening to everything I say.
Yeah, that's definitely like very weird and interesting, but also cool. Okay, so we've had a baby for 5 weeks, and what's that been like?
It is single-handedly the capacity for my love, and you just don't realize you can love something so much. It does nothing but poop and eat. And, cry.
Yeah. The 3 things he does. It truly is like, okay, all the things that I heard parents say, moms say, everyone say like, oh, you're going to love them the second you see them. It's so true. Like the second we saw him, it was just like, oh my gosh, my heart like exploded. And I just was like, I love him so
And
much.
something else exploded too.
What? His butt?
Yeah.
No, it actually didn't. That was part of the problem why he was in the NICU.
Yeah, it took him a little while to do that. But now he
got it from his dad. It's fine.
Jeanine's saying I'm constipated frequently, which is true.
Yeah, he got some IBS issues. But
that's crazy.
It's just like, I don't know. It's so crazy. You look at him and you're like, oh my gosh, I love you so much. And then it's weird because no one's going to love your baby the way that you do and as much as you do, which is obviously how it's supposed to be.
I kind of felt bad for my mom there for a sec.
Why?
Because I never understood why my mom loved me so much.
Yeah.
Because I was like, Mom, chill.
Yeah.
But I get it now. Like I was that to her once.
Oh, I hope Duke doesn't do that to me. I'm sad already.
It's crazy to think eventually, I said this last night, I was like, Jeanine, he's going to talk to us. Like right now he feels like a fictional character. Like that, or he feels like I don't know. He doesn't even feel like a human because he doesn't talk yet.
Yeah.
But like this person he'll audibly speak to us. He'll say some crazy things.
And he's going to repeat what you say.
I know.
Yeah.
He's going to say, Mom, I can't poop.
Gosh, I hope not. But it's been crazy. Like we're trying to figure out this new routine. And honestly, like, I don't know. I keep saying the word routine. There is no routine. Like throw your dang routine.
We went to dinner
out the window.
8:30 last night. Got home at like 10:30 because we just finally got him to sleep and we could go eat.
Well, also now that he's almost a month old, we can finally start to like leave the house more and maybe go to church eventually and trying to figure that out. But there really is no routine. Like I got ready today at like literally 1:30 today because my morning he was just crying and I couldn't do anything else. And so
how soon do you baptize a baby?
Whenever he makes a decision to want to be baptized.
The Catholics do it like immediately, right?
Yeah, but I don't agree with that actually.
Oh, that's going to spark a debate.
I know, but
better be careful there.
I don't agree with it.
I don't not agree with it.
I think it's fine to dedicate your baby, but actual baptism, you have to make the conscious choice yourself.
Yeah. I see there, I mean, I don't think it hurts. It's like baptizing your baby is like taking supplements. It's like if you don't do the right,
what a comparison! I'm like, where are you going?
Hang on, let me eat for a sec. Because like, if you take supplements, it's just better to be safe than sorry. You know.
That is not how that works.
Like just in case.
That's not how that works. Just because you baptize your baby doesn't mean they're going to heaven.
Just in case. The Catholics are like, just in case.
So
we're gonna
maybe it doesn't hurt. No, I don't think it'll get canceled. This is just
they got mad at George Janko. Catholics can get mad at you. You gotta be careful.
I know.
I don't want to listen. I respect the Catholics. We got Catholic listeners. I think.
No, totally. I'm just saying. At some point, I don't think there's any harm or foul to do that. But here's the thing: is everyone as an adult has to decide and choose Jesus for themselves.
I agree.
So no harm, no foul. Like if you want to do that, go ahead. But that doesn't mean that all of a sudden your baby is like saved. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Also on this podcast, because it wouldn't be fun if I just agreed with everything you said. A lot of things I debate you on, I agree with what you're saying, but that's not fun.
Something you guys need to know about Kaleb is he's an instigator and he's always he loves to ruffle feathers. You do. Kaleb will lob out something and then just walk away. He's like, y'all deal with that. And he just lobs out a controversial hot take. Mm-hmm. And then you let everybody argue about it. And then you're like, bye.
I don't say bye.
No, but you like to just sit back and watch then.
Yeah. That's
you're an instigator.
I'm not that's not an instigator.
What's an instigator?
Instigator is like, I guess that. Yeah. But no, I just like conversations. I want to know why people think the way they think.
Yeah.
Like it's not, people get so upset with people's opinions nowadays, but it's like, let people talk.
Here's the difference between Kaleb and I. He's very comfortable with conflict, which is why you're going to be a good lawyer. I'm a little uncomfortable with it. Like, I don't like...
Not really.
Disagreeing.
You embarrass me at restaurants all the time.
Huh? What do you mean?
Can I take this back? Can I try this?
That's not conflict.
Yes, it is.
That's not conflict.
That's 100% conflict. When you knowingly ordered something
that
was on the menu and sometimes you won't like something and you'll send it back just because you didn't like it. That's conflict.
That's not conflict.
Yes, it is.
No, that's not.
What is that?
Conflict is like literally you disagreeing with someone and being okay with the person like pushing back on you and y'all going back and forth. Like that, I don't personally like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're cool with like disagreeing with someone and telling them they're wrong or you think they're wrong or that they think you're wrong.
Like friends, not like random people.
No, I know. But even with friends, like I don't really like to do that.
Yeah.
And I think I just grew up in a very like conflict averse family. Mm-hmm. But your family is very much like.
Your family is not conflict averse.
Yeah, we don't like conflict.
Really?
Yeah, you've seen.
That's not true.
No, everyone runs from conflict.
Your dad.
Your family is very direct.
Hey, you're saying your dad runs from conflict?
No, my dad's very direct, but the whole rest of my family is not.
Yeah.
Like your family, like if you have an issue with each other, you'll tell each other. You'll call each other and be like, I have an issue with you. My family just doesn't do that.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. I think I'm seeing different things here.
What are you talking about? No. Babe, you know that's true.
Maybe a few of them, but I have various situations where I've seen conflict.
With whom?
We don't need to talk about it on the pod.
Are we having conflict?
No, this is great. We're learning new things. I never thought you thought your family was non-confrontational.
Baby, you know that. We've talked about that.
I just don't agree. I just don't agree. I don't think that's like, I don't think.
See, this is you. You're comfortable with disagreeing with me.
Should I call Anthony?
Babe, Anthony doesn't count.
Hang on.
You know that Vonnie and Angela.
We're gonna call my brother-in-law, Jeanine.
Babe, he's at work right now.
No, he'll answer me.
I don't want the camera to freeze.
Your family is confrontational.
No, we're really not. We're not.
Let's see what Anthony says.
He's at work. Babe.
He's gonna answer for me. I promise. He always answers for me. Maybe not. Answer your phone. We're on Happy and Healthy, and I have a question.
I can be confrontational with you, but anyone else, I get very uncomfortable.
No, I've literally witnessed you with my friends going, hey, like calling them out with like
really
cussing or something. Yeah.
I think if it's a lighthearted confrontation, then that's fine. But if it really gets like genuinely awkward, okay, it also depends on the person. Like one time, okay, when we were in Italy, my brother-in-law, the brother-in-law that we were just about to call, we got into a debate about gifts of the spirit.
Don't throw him under the bus.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not even saying what he's saying.
See, I'm not being. I'm being non-confrontational.
No, you're getting scared. We went back and forth, but that's because I was very comfortable with Anthony. Like he's my family. I've known Anthony for 10 plus years. But if it were to be anyone else, I probably wouldn't be as bold as I was. But I kind of want to grow in that because I want to be able to like stand firm. Depends on what it is. If it's something biblical, like I'll stand firm in it. But if there's something that maybe I'm not 100% confident in, I'm going to be like, yeah, this is not a fight I'm worth fighting over. Like I'm not willing to like pick this battle. I'm going to lay my sword down and just be like, you can have it. 'Cause I don't care enough. Why are you laughing?
You're so charismatic and the way you're talking. Anyways, that's funny. You're on one. You're funny right now.
I'm actually really tired.
Me too.
Well, you went to the parade today for the NBA.
Yeah. Well, no, kind of. I went to this like post game. It's like a trophy ceremony for a bit.
Why are you laughing?
I don't know.
What's your recent hot take? I have a hot take.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. So, people say like, oh, we're in the newborn trenches.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really feel like it was the trenches.
Well, our son slept. A lot of people don't have that.
That's what I'm saying. Our experience wasn't the trenches. It was absolutely hard.
Don't say that because tonight he's going to be crying all night.
No, Duke, don't do that to me. I do feel like, yes, it is hard and you are tired, but I don't like people being like, it's the trenches and making it seem like this really scary, daunting thing.
I think for some people it is, like my cousin, because, his daughter never slept. So like they were never getting any sleep.
Yeah,
like,
that's hard.
Ever. So I think if you weren't getting any sleep, you'd be saying otherwise.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't feel like our experience, thankfully, And who knows, he can have sleep regression. He's only 5 weeks. It is absolutely hard, but I also at the same time, I'm like loving this little bubble. Because I love being with him and he's so cute.
He is.
But he does sleep pretty good. Like he gives us a good 3-hour stretch.
Yeah.
And I remember when we first got back, those first couple of nights.
Well, we tried to do things separately. Like we tried to take like shifts and that didn't work for us.
We still kind of do that.
We do shifts, but we sleep together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like that first couple of nights when we were like delirious, that I understood. And if we had that every single night, then that I understand. That would maybe be the trenches.
Totally.
But I'm actually kind of liking it.
Yeah.
Do you like
I
it?
think you're confrontational. I'll be honest. You're calling.
While we're back to this.
Well, you're yelling at people on the podcast, telling them they're not in the trenches. There's newborn parents right now listening to this podcast. And Jeanine is sitting here saying, you're not in the trenches. Do better. Can you believe you said
Well, they're going to take that clip out of context and then I'm going to get canceled and all the moms are going to come for me.
Our motto for this next season of the podcast is we don't care what people think. That's something you and I in our marriage we're working on, because like we would micro-analyze every part of the podcast before, because we were always kind of like, oh, it just became annoying.
Yeah.
And so that's our new slogan is let people be upset. Jesus made a lot of people upset. You know what I mean?
He did. And you know what? The Bible says that fear of man is a snare, which means it's a trap.
And so now like, Janine's calling y'all a snare.
I'm about to get you canceled on this podcast and say something wild to get you off of it.
Let's change the name of the podcast to...
You got nothing?
No, I don't really have anything yet. But what if... Have you ever thought of a name change?
Yeah, I have.
Really?
I mean, I've had Christians come for me for the name of my podcast.
Is it demonic?
No, because the Bible doesn't promise health and happiness.
Ooh.
And so I've had some pastors say some things to me. I've had 2 in particular. I won't name names. I've had 2 in particular roast my podcast name. I'm not going to lie. And I understand because the Bible doesn't promise health and happiness.
Yeah, but you're not promising it.
It does. And that's true. You're right. But because the name, like people are like, why don't you name it like health and wholeness or like holy and whole or something, which honestly I could have done. But
that's stupid, because what if a podcast is like, how to stop, how to stop being greedy? Well, the Bible doesn't promise not being able to not be greedy. Mm-hmm. It's like, that's stupid.
Well, here's what people are saying is they're like, are you trying to promote some prosperity gospel?
Yeah.
And no, of course, I'm definitely never trying to do that. But I also do believe if you follow God's ways, you will have more health and happiness.
Okay, we got Anthony on the line. Okay, and we're going to go back to our previous conversation.
I still want to finish this topic.
Janine's... Okay, here we go. All right, Anthony, you are on, I think this is your third.
This is like third or fourth time on the podcast.
Third time on the pod?
I think it's my 3rd time on the pod.
Welcome back.
We can't wait to have you officially on the podcast. We don't need your spiritual...
Have our own little podcast.
Dude, you and I need to start something, that's for sure. Anthony and I actually had a podcast idea. It was called Squatty Potty.
Squatty Potty.
Okay, so Anthony's a young adults pastor, and we're not actually asking for any biblical sound wisdom for you. So
let me just tee who Anthony up is. Okay, Anthony is married to my sister Vanya.
Don't tee him up because you're gonna get a biased answer.
No, what do you mean? And Anthony has been in my family for what? How long? Like 10 years?
She's trying to butter you up right now to get your
10
answer.
years. So I think he can speak into this question.
Okay,
but Jeanine and I have been friends for like almost 20 years, probably.
Right. Since 20.
All right, guys, we don't need the sob story. All right. All right. Duke's crying. Is Janine's family confrontational?
Janine's family is not confrontational.
What?
See, I told you.
Yes, they are.
No, we're not.
You're telling me who isn't and
let me get my baby. Hold on.
Okay. There's a couple people in the family that are not afraid of conflict at all.
Thank you. And that makes it Jeanine was trying to tell me that none of the family is confrontational, or I guess
I think Jeanine is good. I think Jeanine is confrontational.
Yep, I said the same thing.
She didn't used to be able to do that. When Vanya and I started dating, I remember, this is a really stupid story. Vanya tickled me. She found out that I was ticklish, and I told her to stop.
Oh gosh, I remember this story.
And she kept tickling me, and I was like, okay, stop. And then she did it again, and I said, stop. And she did it again, and I said, stop. And she did it again. And I finally like raised my voice a little bit, and I said, Vanya, I don't like it. You need to stop. And it like legitimately scared her. You know, like, and she was like, you could have said it more nicely. And I said, I did. I said it nicely like 7 times. And then later on in our relationship, I said something again that made her mad because I put my foot in my mouth more often than I should. And she didn't tell me for like a month. And then finally she told me, and I said, Vanya, that happened so long ago.
I know.
And I said, you've just been living in bitterness towards me and frustration that I didn't even, and like you've been sad and disappointed and I didn't even know.
Amazing. Well, we can't wait till you move to Oklahoma from Alaska.
Dude, sorry, brother, I'm with you always. And sorry that I couldn't help you win this one. But Jeanine's right.
Thank you.
All right.
But also, you're right a little bit. I would say 2 or 3 people in the family are not afraid to confront somebody at all. Do you need me for anything else?
I think that's it. Thank you for coming on the pod. We'll eventually have you in person to talk. You know, Anthony's a big prosperity gospel teacher, so
right. If you want health and prosperity, happy and healthy, definitely give Anthony a ring.
All right, love you, bro.
Bye, Aunt.
See ya.
Bye, guys.
Well, point proven.
Listen, you win some and lose some, but this is
I won that one.
You know, you got to take defeat in marriage, and sometimes your wife defeats you, and you know, just like Goliath defeated. Well, actually, Goliath lost. Anyways.
David?
Yeah.
David beat Goliath?
That was
what you're trying to say? You good?
Yeah, I'm tired too.
You know that feeling when something just sparks your motivation? It could be a new planner or a new journal or maybe a new pen. There's something really powerful about beauty and intention coming together, and that is exactly why I love the products from Hosanna Revival. They don't just offer Bibles, they offer works of art. And I have one of their journals right here, right now. I have 2 of their Bibles, and I absolutely love them. Each one is thoughtfully designed to draw you in, not with just what's inside, but also what's on the cover. They make spending time with God just feel a little bit more intentional and personal and inspiring and also a little bit sacred. And I love how it's just God's word wrapped up in creativity and beauty. But it doesn't just stop there. They don't just make Bibles. They also make journals and planners and devotionals. And I think they're so gorgeous. So this is my journal. I love it. I love looking at it. I love all the Bible verses on it. And I love the style of this journal. It's super flexible and I love the spacing, and I just could not recommend these more, you guys. So everything that they make is designed to help you connect more with God and also do it in a very beautiful way. If you guys want to check these out, I do have a discount code for you guys. As a happy and healthy listener, you guys will get 15% off your entire order with my code Jeanine15 at checkout. Just head to hosannarevival.com and use code Jeanine15. And you can start creating a space for meaningful, beautiful moments with God. And again, that is Jeanine15 for 15% off at hosannarevival.com. Happy shopping and happy connecting with the Lord. You guys are going to love these products. They're very, very beautiful. And I also love that you can get different translations in the Bible. So definitely check it out.
What else, Jeanine? We're going to Dallas.
We are
tomorrow.
Going to Dallas for the first time in a while.
And
I'm excited. We got our son, and he was being a little fussy boy. So we decided to hold him. I decided to hold him.
Do you miss Dallas?
I do.
What do you miss most about it?
I miss my friends, my gym, my stores, my mall.
Yeah, malls here suck.
Malls here are whack-a-doodle.
Yeah,
it's whack-a-doodle time.
We got to talk to the mayor about that one.
Didn't I sound like the lady actually from TikTok?
No.
It's whack-a-doodle time. No?
It's whack-a-doodle time.
Okay.
Maybe we'll play it. We'll see.
I do miss a lot of aspects about Dallas. I think just because I was actually going to do a whole video updating you guys on my Instagram of how life has been here in the last 3 months, almost 4 months. I don't feel very settled here quite yet. I don't like the house doesn't feel ready. I still haven't painted anything. Like the living room still hasn't been painted. We haven't picked a church yet. I still feel like I'm trying to figure out community, which...
Well, we moved here and you were almost 9 months pregnant, 8 months pregnant.
I was 35 weeks pregnant. So I don't feel quite settled yet. So I think I'm really excited to get into a small group. I want to start serving. I want to still get into like women's ministry. We did meet some awesome neighbors. We met like 4 couples in our neighborhood that I think is going to be game changer.
Yeah.
Like all the women and I have a group text already, and they've already been so beneficial. They're all moms. One's about to have a baby in 2 weeks.
And the husbands are
dope.
cool, which is dope.
Husbands are cool for Caleb. Y'all can go golf together or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think that'll be really awesome. We are enjoying our time here, but I still feel like we don't have, we don't feel fully settled yet.
Yeah.
But I think for me, I don't feel fully settled. Like you have friends here and your family. I'm still trying to figure out like my rhythms here.
I don't have capacity for another friend. Because I have so many long distance friends and I got a lot of friends here. Like
I swear 30 people call them a day. Like I've never met someone as much as you who is on the phone because people just love calling you.
Well, I don't text back I'm a bad texter.
Horrible texter.
I'm so bad. If you're a friend of mine and you're watching this, I don't know why any of my friends would be watching this. They're probably not. Sometimes they'll watch and sometimes they'll make fun of me. They'll be watching just to get a clip and then send it out of context.
You know who you are.
But I love a good phone call. Like I tell my buddies, like, now I'll text back if it's important, but if you're going to send me some nonsense, call me. Don't send me nonsense. My biggest pet peeve, you know my biggest pet peeve?
What?
This is going to give me some hate. Is when someone texts you, give me a life update.
See,
How are you?
I do that.
Bro, call me.
Yeah, I do that.
I don't want to sit here and send a minute and a half text message, a book. Like there's sometimes I'll be honest with you. I'll go to ChatGPT and be like, tell this person. I'll send a screenshot of the text and I'll be like, tell them I'm good, but also tell them that I'm blah, 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 blah.
That's so lazy.
I've done that before. No, because it takes forever.
It's true.
If I that's why I like voice messages, but like we can hop on the phone and I can tell you everything, but I can't encapsulate everything I'm going through in a text message.
See, here's where I'm weird. I like a phone call, but it has to be at the right time. Like I gotta be like on a walk or cleaning or like have capacity to talk for an hour. Otherwise, I'm like, shoot me a text or let's do voice memo. I'm really good with text messages.
Do you think if you
since having the baby, I am not very good. But yeah.
I don't want to sound sexist here. This is not my goal. You don't really like sports that much, right?
I do. I just like my sports.
Okay, but you're not gonna hop on the phone with the girls and talk about
of course. We don't care much about that.
But some girls do.
Yeah,
and some girls do talk about sports. But my point is all my guy friends, we love sports. So that's like half the conversation is talking about the game. We're talking about different things.
Right.
So I feel like if you maybe watch sports more often, you talk about the game, talk about different things, you know?
No, I think for
girls. I just did it again. I literally, my tick is different things, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
I hate it.
I'm like, yeah. For girls, when my best friends and I call each other, it's like to catch up. It's like, how's life? How can we be praying for you? What's going on? What's hard? What's good? How's marriage? How's baby? Like we're doing like the full coverage. And then it'll be like, okay, we'll catch up another 2 weeks. Like we catch up periodically, but a lot of times in between it's like a quick text or a voice memo. But I don't feel like I call people very much and I wish I was better at that. But sometimes I just don't want to. Like even if I'm on a walk, I'm like, I just don't want to call anybody. I want to listen to podcasts. I want to tune out, which is maybe not good. Mm-hmm. But I try my best to still catch up with all my friends at least once a week. Like I text all my best friends at least once a week. How's things going? We do voice memos. You guys just chat about nothing.
Yeah. I think we talk about sports, but I just think, there's been a lot of games going on right now. So it feels like that.
So what are you guys going to talk about now that's over? Like, what are you going to do now?
Football season's starting up soon.
Oh my gosh.
The NBA draft's tomorrow.
I'm like, can y'all talk about something else other than sports?
No, we talk about business. Me and some of my friends, we have some business ideas and different things we're doing with that.
Cool.
Yeah. No, we literally do.
So who's like, I feel like guys aren't like very intentional about like, bro, how are you doing? How's this? Like tell me what's been hard. Like,
no, we do.
You feel like you guys do?
Yeah, for sure. But my closest friends, we definitely catch up like that for sure.
Okay.
But yeah, it is harder.
I just think guys and girls are different.
Sometimes you don't want to open up the can of worms. You're like, I'd rather not go there.
See, for me, I don't mind. I'm like, open up the can. Rip it open, baby.
I'm like, kick it down the road a little.
Yeah, that's the difference between guys and girls.
We'll worry about that in August.
Yeah, no. I feel like I love to like chat about feelings and what's going on. And I think that's important. I think as Christians, you should have someone that you're being open and honest with. And I know you are, but I'm just saying, I think with girls, like my friends and I, we're very like vulnerable with each other often.
Do you ever feel, I know I felt like this in small groups, everyone would be going around saying something pretty like emotional or, something they're going through. And sometimes like, I feel like I had to say something, I needed an answer and I'd say things and I'd leave and I'd go, I don't think I really,
100%.
I don't think that really meant that. Or I think I over exaggerated what I'm really going through.
Right.
So I've learned now, because a lot of sometimes someone will ask you, how are you really doing? So you feel like you have to give a compelling answer. And I've gotten to the point now where like, I'm good.
Yeah.
Because I overshare. I've always been an oversharer.
Oh, same.
And I hate it. And so now I've tried to be better about, I don't need to share everything I'm going to my, local, I don't know.
Local
guy at the golf course, or
Steve?
Whatever. Steve, yeah. Steve doesn't need to know that I have night terrors,
Yeah, how are those doing?
They've changed.
Yeah, they have changed.
I don't have them as much.
We haven't talked about that in a while.
I haven't had a night terror in a while.
You had one last night, but it wasn't as bad.
Really?
So if you guys don't know, we've talked about this, but we kind of didn't talk about it for a while. And it's kind of more your thing to share. And I think people think it's like maybe worse than it is. Because I had someone say to me, you shouldn't be sharing that on behalf of your husband. That's so personal.
No, I shared it first, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah.
But like you wake up in the middle of the night and you'll just kind of go, oh, and then I'll be like, everything's fine. And then you'll be like, oh, and then you'll fall back asleep. That's what you did last night.
They haven't been as bad.
No, they haven't. He used to have gnarly ones when we lived in
One
Dallas.
time I found myself outside.
When was that?
I don't, it was a few months ago. I was just outside.
Really?
Well, I don't want to share the confines of our house, but
Here?
Yeah. The backyard. I was just standing outside. Yeah.
You went outside?
Yeah.
What's that TikTok that's like, I'm outside?
Catch me
I don't
outside.
know. My brain isn't TikTok. It's so bad.
But they've gotten better. I've realized that since I've limited caffeine, my anxiety level since getting into law school, it's helped. Yeah, I think magnesium has helped. I've started taking magnesium a little bit. That's helped. My diet's better.
Your night terrors shifted from one thing to now where you wake up and you're paranoid about Duke.
Yeah.
Like his night terrors are like, oh, is he okay? Is he okay?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, he's okay.
At least now my night terrors serve a purpose. At least it's about him. Before it was just nonsense.
Like last night you woke up and you're like, is he okay? And I was like, yeah, baby, he's fine. And you're like, okay.
I don't know why. I always think like a blanket's on top of him. Like, he doesn't sleep with us. But
and there's no blanket in his crib.
I get paranoid of like him. There's just something on his face. So I always like wake up to look to see if there's something on his face.
Same. I wake up so many times throughout the night. If I hear him grunt, I'm like, and then I'm like, oh, he's fine. He's just sucking on his pacifier.
You know what it feels like I'm doing right now?
What?
It feels like we're on a date, first date, and I don't want the date to end. So like, I'm just I'm not present in the conversation because I'm trying to think about the next thing to say just so you don't try to leave the date.
I'm about to leave the date.
I know.
Your girl needs a nap.
And this is what I'm sad about is...
But good thing is we'll be back on the pod.
No, next week is without me.
It's a solo dolo.
And...
Which, comment down below what you want me to talk about in the next week's episode.
What am I supposed to do for 3 weeks?
Just relax.
I know. Life's supposed to get busy. But I feel like I have thoughts. A lot of people... I've seen some people say, Kaleb, why don't you have... For the sake of our future, I should not have my own podcast.
Why is that?
Because who knows what I'm going to say.
Yeah, I know that's true. But yeah, we are back. I am going to be honest.
Be honest.
I am a bit more limited on guests here in Oklahoma. So I am trying my best to get on people that you guys want. I do have a very exciting guest coming up.
You should share who it
soon.
is.
It is Reese from, Baba, you okay? Oh. I have Reese from the Dallas Cowboys cheerleader coming on my podcast. And I'm actually trying to work on getting one more person while I'm in Dallas. But it is a little bit harder to get guests here. So just be just bear with me, but a lot of solo episodes will be coming up. And I definitely want to do, again, just more biblical teachings and just topics you guys want to hear about. And then Kaleb will still be here 1 to 2 times a month.
We should get some of my single guy friends on the podcast. That'd be kind of funny.
We actually really want to get your grandma on if she'll let us. Grandma Jean, if you're watching this, we want to get you on. And I also have a girl I know here that has a very insane, amazing story that I want to get on as well. And I know you guys have talked about how you want me to have less like only influencers on. And so I definitely want to bring some like more real life stories too. So I'm working on that. And I think my son is getting very hungry. He's bobbing around. He's looking for mama's milk.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for listening to today's episode. This was a random,
But it was fun.
It was fun. Yeah, we had a good time. I'm happy to be back. It feels good to have a space to just kind of like share my thoughts again because I have thoughts. Anyway, you guys, thank you for listening to today's episode. We love you guys. I hope you guys also enjoyed the relationship series. I think that's still very beneficial always to help give you guys that advice because I know relationships are messy sometimes. And yeah, this was fun. We love you guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. We will see you next week for another episode of Happy and Healthy. But until then, stay happy and healthy. Bye.